I use a Newman tape. They just came out with this one. It replaced the white tape that they had before. This is the yellow tape. And it's aggressive, but not as aggressive as the other one. It works much better, and it holds up for years in the dip tank or just in washing screens out back there. So what I want to do is I want to go on the inside of my frame, and I want to take a piece that's about the length of this roller, and I'm going to put it halfway up the frame, like so. Stick it on. And I want to go down, but I don't want to push it down into the corners too much. I want to leave it a little round because it really helps to be able to clean the screen out much better if you leave it out a little bit rather than pushing it underneath and creating a crevice where ink can get in there. Again, I'm going to go halfway up the side of the roller, glue it down, push it back in, like so. Do all four sides. Now, in these corners, what you can do is you can take a little piece of tape, say about that wide, and you can just tear it halfway through, like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to, let me pull this over here so you can see it better. We're going to turn this around halfway onto itself and stick it down, and that creates a corner. We're going to be able to put this corner back up inside so that matches up to the tape that we have already put on there on the outside, and perfectly, and it forms a corner like so. So we'll do that 4 times. Again, tear halfway through, turn it on itself until it's square. Match up the tapes. Push the corner down inside. What we're doing is we're creating an ink dam on the inside of this frame that will keep the ink from going underneath the rollers, outside of the emulsion area, creating an ink dam, so to speak. And then because we're using a semi-permanent solvent-resistant tape, this tape will stay on the frame, on the mesh, through washes, through developing, through dip tanks, for a long period of time. I've got some screens that have had tape on them for years and years, and it's still holding up just fine. Again, I want to match those tapes up perfectly. Okay, so we've got all 4 corners done. Now we'll turn it over to the inside, bottom side. And what we want to do is we want to take a piece of tape that's going from roller to roller, and we want to match this edge up with the edge that's already down there. Okay? So, right there. Now what that does, by creating a sandwich, so to speak, is that when we're spraying water from this side, we're not pushing the tape away on this side. It's pushing this tape into the mesh, and this tape can't be hit and be pushed off. So it's important that they line up perfectly. Now we'll go around and do that on all four sides. You want to line those up very carefully. Just so. Now, another use for this tape is to protect this mesh out here from being damaged if this frame should happen to hit against something. And it will. It'll get hit against other frames, and it'll get hit when it's in the drying cabinet. It'll be scraped against the sides. You can do some damage. So some people will like to take a smaller piece of tape here that's about from dog ear to dog ear, like so. And they'll tape this down so that, like so, pull this over and tape it down. This protects all of the mesh, and it also protects the T-slot from getting any ink or crud in it. So it's really a nice thing to have. So we'll go ahead and do that on all four sides. Again, I'm not going from corner to corner. I'm going for the inside of the dog ears, basically. You'll see in a minute why it's not. You don't want to go any further than that. Again, that easy. Now on the back side, it's important because this is going on a back clamp press, and so the clamping mechanism is going to be pushing this mesh back here against the frame, and it could cause damage to it from being clamped into the press. And so we're putting this tape back there to keep that from happening. Again, inside of dog ear to inside of dog ear. And so forth. Now, at this point, you can come around on the front of this, take out the rubber block, the squeegee block. Now, what you want to do is you want to push that mesh down into the corner so that it's pushed against the tape so that you don't have these loose corners anymore. That tape out there will take that up and create a much tighter area. Again, you're not going to be printing in the corners anyway, so a little bit of loose mesh in the corners doesn't mean anything. Now you want to take this and you want to go along this strip and push the two pieces of tape together. Okay? By doing that, you're forming more of a bond with the adhesive on the two tapes so that they're making a really good bond that will hold up along in the dip tank and in the developing. Just like so. Now, the last thing that some people do, it's not necessary, is they'll take a piece of tape that's about that long and they'll go across the diagonal of this corner. It's really not necessary, but a lot of people do it. Again, you only want to bring it to the corner right there, to the inside of the corner. Tape it around. All it does is hold the mesh securely on these dog ears. It's only holding those down. And it's giving you a much better support in the corners. Okay? So, some people do this, some people don't. It's up to you. Now, what I'm ending up here with is a frame that I'll be able to print with this frame for years without having to replace the mesh. The mesh is going to be in here for a long period of time. It's not going to go away unless somebody sticks their foot through it or somehow or another an employee damages this frame. It's good for a long time.